Hey guys, it's Stephen here back with another video, and today I thought I'd take a look at Manchester City's 2-0 victory over Newcastle in a little bit more detail and look at 5 things that I personally learned from that game, because it was a good game. It was good. It was a good, fun, enjoyable performance. As I said on Twitter last night, it was very much a 7.5 out of 10 kind of performance. Not perfect, with a little bit of wastefulness there, maybe the odd obligatory defensive error, I guess, but largely City were really, really good, and I was impressed with the performance. I'm going to start today with the first take that I took from this, and of course, given it's my channel and given I'm a pro Foden account, it's going to be about Foden in general. I thought Phil was absolutely excellent once again when he came on and showed another very impressive cameo. Foden these days looks like a man that belongs in this team. He looks like a man that belongs in this starting 11, never mind the squad in general. He's gone from a raw, naive, kind of slightly maybe too polite kind of teenager to a guy who looks like he belongs in this Manchester City team and feels confident enough to express his ability and his versatility and his intelligence and even his strength these days around City's team. Thought it was really notable that City immediately looked better when he came on the pitch yesterday. Full of ideas, full of energy, and we've got a situation now where previously he was just holding his own. Now he often looks like the best player on the pitch when he's actually there. I'm not saying that was necessarily the case last night, but largely this does happen very often. He's in the top 2 or 3 players, and that's so impressive for such a young lad. And his cameo last night showed that why, in my opinion, I genuinely believe he deserves to start against Liverpool. It's his energy. It's his willingness to kind of make things happen, be very direct. That kind of, I guess, that thirst for goal as well. He's a natural goal scorer. He's starting to show his full repertoire as a young footballer, and the time right now is perfect for him to start to show that ability to become what we know he could be. Genuinely, there was shades of his game last night that reminded me of David Silva, the way he pirouetted and shielded the ball in that very famously Spanish kind of way that the La Masia products have become known for. You think of the likes of Xavi and Iniesta and even David Silva, and not necessarily La Masia, of course, but these players have shown that they have that ability to shield the ball brilliantly. Foden, for me, has really shown that he's ready. He's totally utterly ready. He's intelligent. He creates chances. He scores goals. His technique, his strength's improving. Gotta get that guy on the pitch, in my humble opinion. And also because he's very good at attacking crosses from the back post, which no one else seems to do. Secondly, and it leads into that entirely, wastefulness. We are still, unfortunately, very wasteful in front of goal. This is something that I want to see City try and address. There must be little things that we can do that will improve our chances of scoring goals, even if it's creating chances and creating tap-ins, because there are certain situations that we're not really capitalising on anymore. As great as Aguero is, and I do love Aguero, so please don't take this as slander about him. He, in my opinion, is not quite as clinical as he once was. I looked into some research, and last season, in 2,400 minutes, he missed 10 big chances, and this season he's already missed 12 in 1,400 minutes. So in 1,000 more minutes, which is roughly 11 games last season, he missed 2 less big chances. Aguero this season has been a little bit sloppy in front of goal, unfortunately, and I think that's just a natural requisite of him trying to get his sharpness as he gets a bit older, unfortunately. Still absolutely world class, do not get me wrong, but he does miss more big chances this season. And Gabriel Jesus is not a killer in front of goal. I really like him, do not get me wrong, I really like him, but he's not a natural instinctive finisher in the way that someone like, I don't know, Haaland is. I want someone who's an absolute brute, like Lewandowski, for example. Someone who can just score a shit ton of goals if you give him a shit ton of chances. And I don't think Gabriel Jesus is that. I also don't think Sterling is that. He's not a natural finisher. I don't think David Silva is. And I don't think Bernardo is either. I want someone who has that hunger for goals in the same way that young Sergio Aguero did, because I think we need that right now. Now, I love Sergio, I love Gabriel Jesus, I love Sterling, I love Silva, but what I'm saying is that I do think our wastefulness does cost us games. That should have been a 4-5-0 yesterday. But it wasn't, because that's Manchester City that we've been seeing for many, many months now. And I do wish we had a killer in front of goal. I really think we need a striker who will fire goals in and kill teams. Because Aguero has been that man, probably still is that man, but that is about to change because he's getting older, unfortunately, and I think we need a potential replacement. Gabriel Jesus should 100% be around. I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm saying we need someone also who's an absolute killer to push Gabriel Jesus to higher levels, in my humble opinion, because we're going to need another striker anyway, let's be honest, because Aguero, sadly, he's going eventually. Not now, but eventually he will be gone. And his form could drop off a cliff at any moment if he's not injured anyway. And he is injured, unfortunately. So we have to face the realities. Thirdly, Mendy. Right, I want people to be patient with Mendy because a lot of people said yesterday he was terrible. I don't know what game you were watching. The first 20 minutes, yes, he was ropey in those first 20 minutes. But a football game is 70 more minutes than 20. It's 90 odd minutes long. You can't write a player off after the first 20 minutes. You need to make the most of what Mendy could be because he could be a real threat, not just defensively, but going forward as well. All right, yesterday, Mendy should have had at least an assist or two. The amount of chances he potentially created for Manchester City, 2 crosses in particular, were perfect when he whipped in between the goalkeeper and the defenders. That corridor of uncertainty, as cliches would suggest. And we got nothing from that. And that's entirely down to ourselves. You think about when Leroy Sané was playing on the left, Sterling would often come in at the back post to tap in. And now Mahrez or Bernardo, whoever's on the right, they do not have that same desire to get to the back post. We have to change that. We have to be gambling on these crosses because Mendy can create chances. But we're not getting on the back post. Foden has that natural desire to do that, but he's obviously on a different side usually. Sterling used to have that desire to do it, but as it is, no one on the right is getting over to the back post to score easy tap-ins. We have to make the most of these because it's not fair on Mendy. Maybe we'll start to learn this as we get used to him being back in the team, but we have to make sure we capitalise on the threat that Mendy can bring. I know he can be clumsy sometimes, but I still maintain largely that Mendy needs several months of regular football. 2 years out, he's had about 10 to 15 games now, broken up massively obviously by 3 months of coronavirus pandemic. He's not had the chance yet, in my humble opinion. I think yesterday he actually showed how dangerous he could be. I know some people will go, yeah, but he overhit some crosses. Who fucking doesn't overhit some crosses? I'm sorry, even De Bruyne does that sometimes. Look at Kyle Walker. You're lucky if you get 1 great cross from Kyle Walker every 5 games. Yesterday we got 3 great crosses from Mendy. And I'm sorry, a couple of bad crosses are worth it if it creates a goal or 2 here and there. We've got to be recognised that he is a quality footballer when he gets his ball, gets a chance to whip in the ball. Have to make the most of it. 4th point I want to talk about is confidence and the effect that confidence can have and how form is only temporary. You've got to bear in mind that once again with Mendy, we didn't sign a player who couldn't pass a ball. We wouldn't have signed him full stop. Confidence, 20 minutes in when he got his confidence back shows that. And also, Raheem Sterling. I'm sorry, but did anyone else notice that Raheem Sterling looked at a totally different player after his goal yesterday? He was fine before that, but he was so confident. He was drifting into inside right channels, inside left channels. He was picking the ball up in the middle, trying 1-2s. He looked so much more alive after that world-class goal. And that's what confidence can do to a player. These footballers that we've got, they're all high quality, hence why we signed them in the first place. We've got to remember that confidence drives players to do special things. And at the moment, some players maybe aren't at the most confident because the season has been a little bit underwhelming. Yes, now there is an element of them having to find that form themselves, but it can happen. We have to be patient with our players because there is quality there. And even though it's frustrating sometimes, I think yesterday Sterling was a great example of what confidence can do to a player. He is still a top quality player. I know he's had a bad few months at Manchester City in terms of his confidence in front of goal, but hopefully, just hopefully, he's had a couple of goals since lockdown. Hopefully this can be the change for him. We see the Sterling that started to score so many goals over the past couple of years once again. Finally, I'll put this down as like maybe tactics or ideas or intensity. One of those 3 will be the headline at the bottom. But largely, I wanted to talk about our approach to the game yesterday and how versatile we felt and how lively we felt in general. The first thing that stood out for me is that we pressed from the front in a way that I've not seen Manchester City do in ages. There was an awful lot of energy in our attempts to win the ball back, and that's absolutely vital because it crushed Newcastle's confidence and it crushed their spirit. We were so aggressive on the front foot and they couldn't keep the ball at any point. Like Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne passed them to bits. And on the subject of Kevin De Bruyne, I really like seeing him a little bit deeper in this game because what Kevin De Bruyne does, when he's deeper, it means he gets the ball quicker. And when we get the ball quicker and he's deeper, it means we can break the line so much better. You've got more of the field for Kevin De Bruyne to pass into, and we really benefit from that. Kevin De Bruyne is one of the most progressive passers in world football, and the quicker we get him onto the ball, sometimes the better things can happen, especially when you've got players with the pace of Sterling ahead of him or someone like that to run onto the passes. Not always will it work, and sometimes you want him closer to the goal, but not quite as close to the goal as he was against Chelsea, in my opinion, where he was wasted because he's often had his back to the goal, facing it away. A little bit deeper for Kevin De Bruyne, and I thought we were well more incisive and more intelligent with our passing. Kevin De Bruyne is a very intelligent footballer, getting more intelligent as he gets older. So that versatility that he was allowed yesterday to be a little bit deeper and get the ball, I thought he really benefited us. Him sitting alongside Gundogan in a 4-2-3-1 kind of system, I thought was a lot more natural for Manchester City yesterday. It can be changed, of course, but I think it helped. And also little things like the way we were moving the ball a lot quicker against a kind of low block. Obviously, Newcastle set out their intention to just to defend that box, and I don't blame them for doing it. But yesterday, City, there was so many more one-touch passes around the area, and you could tell he completely and utterly confused Newcastle. Now, we were wasteful, so it should have been a bit more, but I think yesterday's ideas did work. We were shifting the ball a lot quicker, so defenders from Newcastle having to go to one side of the pitch to the other. Our 1-2s around the area were quick and incisive, and it was harder for Newcastle to defend. I want to see more of that, because it obviously does have an impact on Manchester City's ability to break teams down. I thought yesterday City looked a little bit more inventive, looked a little bit quicker in the way they moved the ball. They definitely had a more tactical variation, and I think we saw potentially what confidence can do for Sterling and how we can utilise Benjamin Mendy on the left. I thought yesterday was a really interesting game with lots of little stories. Let me know down in the comments what you personally learned from this game. There was obviously loads to take from it, and the one thing that matters now really overall in general is that we're through to a semi-final. We've got Arsenal, an Arsenal team that surely we can beat. We've beaten a couple of times already this season, and it could be 3 times. Hopefully we get to another final, and who knows, it could be Chelsea, it could be Man United that will play there, and Manchester Derby in the FA Cup final would be fun, wouldn't it? Guys, these are just my thoughts on the game. Make sure you click this video here and go watch my match reaction immediately after the game. Also, make sure to subscribe here and watch this video right here, why I think we should sign Kalidou Koulibaly, because I think he's an absolute quality player and exactly what we need. I love you all loads, and thank you for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be back tomorrow with something else. Who knows what it'll be? Maybe a transfer video, maybe a City social. Who knows? We'll keep it interesting. Anyway, I love you all loads. See you in a bit.